बिल्कुल अपने रेस ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਿਆਰ ਨੇ ਔਰ ਇਸ ਵਕਤ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਔਰ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਜ਼ਿਹਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਸਵਾਲ ਹੋਵੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਾਲ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਔਰ ਦਿਲਬਾਗ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣਾ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਲਿਖਵਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਟ੍ਰਾਂਸਲੇਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਏਗਾ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੰਟਰਵਿਊ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਔਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੈਲਕਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਮਿਸਟਰ ਪੈਟ੍ਰਿਕ ਬ੍ਰਾਊਨ ਦਿਸ ਇਜ਼ ਅੰਜੂ ਐਂਡ ਯੂ ਆਰ ਮੋਸਟ ਵੈਲਕਮ ਟੂ ਰੇਡੀਓ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਰੰਗਲਾ ਪੰਜਾਬ
Well, thank you so much for having me on the radio tonight, and it's always a pleasure.
Great. So, days are coming very close. It's 24th of October, and we would like to know that how would you highlight what's going on, and how's the door knocking going on? What type of response are you getting from Bramptonians?
Yeah, the door knocking is going really well. The response has been fantastic. It's there's a lot of support for our ambitious agenda for Brampton. The work we've been doing to get a hospital, a med school approved. They're building the hospital starting this year. New med school opens 2025. We've expanded cricket, field hockey, 2 new recreation centers, brought in free transit for seniors, froze property taxes, and so there's a lot to be proud of. And the response in the city has been really, really encouraging.
Yeah, and now we all know, everyone knows about how controversial it was your July month, and from now on, what type of confidence do you think voters have towards you?
Well, it's been very encouraging. I think Bramptonians know that I'm a fighter, and I fought for Brampton. They also know that I had a difficult council. When I got elected last time, I only had one supporter around the table. I'm hoping to go back to City Hall this time with a majority mandate, to have a clear mandate, a majority around the table, because I faced obstruction. When I wanted to fight Bill 21, which was that bigoted, discriminatory bill that bans the turban and the hijab, I had 4 councillors boycott me. When I brought in an anti-nepotism bill that said you can't hire family members, I had these old guard councillors upset. So I've tried to bring transparency and accountability to the city. And at one point, some of these old guard councillors who decided not to run again, there's 3 councillors not returning. I had some of these councillors, they wouldn't even show up. I had to announce that if you miss 5 meetings, you lose your paycheck. And so they didn't come for 2 months until I made that announcement. So I'm looking forward to having a council that never hesitates to work, to roll up their sleeves, to fight for Brampton. And it's time that this old guard that we've had to deal with moves into the past.
Yeah, and most importantly, Patrick, we are, as a Bramptonian or as a Mississauga, or I'm talking about Peel region now, we are facing a lot of problems now. In your mandate, you said that 108 police officers recruited, the new one. This team, however, is not not taking care at all of our safety, and it's a big concern for everyone. Most of it, whenever we're having our talk shows going on, all Bramptonians, and we are highly concerned about the safety. Even when we are at home, we are not safe. So what is this team of 108 police officers is doing?
Well, I'm very pleased to say that my plan for public safety has been endorsed by the Peel Police Officers Union. The men and women in blue have endorsed my plan. I put forward a plan that says I want to hire 250 new officers over the next 4 years, build a new regional police division, a 23 division, which we have approved on Lagerfield Road, triple the auto thefts unit, and add 30 new civilian staff to our 911 headquarters. Right now, even though we've added police officers, we've only kept up with attrition. We have more calls to 911 than we have police officers able to respond, which means the chief has to pick and choose which 911 calls he can send someone to. So when I hear my political opponents say defund the police or freeze the police budget, they're out to lunch. They're out to lunch. If you cut the police budget, you'll have less calls that you can respond to. We need to make sure we give the chief the resources to do his job and keep us safe. And I'm proud to have their support. I'm proud to have the support of our Peel police. These people these heroes run towards danger when other people run away. And, I'm going to continue to have their back.
Truly understand where you're coming from, but practically, when we as a citizen or as a Bramptonian, when we call police, when we are in such a trauma of any break-ins or auto theft, so we have a different response that the police gives to us. They straight away say, call your insurance company,
right now,
nothing else.
Not officers able to respond to auto thefts and break and enters. Right now, the chief can only send officers to violent crimes because there's not enough officers. That's why when these people say cut the police budget, they don't realize we already don't have enough officers. The fact that we don't have officers able to, the officers are so busy dealing with violent offenses that there's no one available to go to non-violent offenses. And I want to make sure we have enough officers to send to both the non-violent offenses and the violent offenses.
When we say, Patrick Brown, that we don't have enough police officers, isn't it that invitation, direct invitation to the criminals? Like, okay, there's lack of police officers, we are free to go because they are involved somewhere else, which is more violent a crime.
Yeah, you know, I do worry about that. I worry because the criminal organizations know that our numbers are low, that they can take advantage of that. The number of auto thefts you're seeing speaks to that. That's why I really hope that residents will support my plan. The plan that I've designed, we had the chief of police look at what was needed. We had the police union look what's needed. I've got a plan that can deal with our public safety challenges, but I need to get enough support around the table to pass this. So please send me back to City Hall with a majority mandate so I can do more to keep Brampton safe.
And Brampton University, the dream of each and every Bramptonian, what is your mandate for that?
So I support a Brampton University. I want to have a Brampton University. We've made a lot of progress. We've had Algoma come to Brampton. We've had the med school come to Brampton. But I still want a university. As you know, we had 6 councillors vote not to get a university. I was one of the 5 that voted for a university. And for these councillors that say we don't need a university, give your head a shake. A young person in Brampton deserves the same opportunities as a young person in Waterloo, Guelph, Kitchener, Kingston, Sudbury, Thunder Bay, all smaller communities that have a university. So when I hear some of these councillors say, you know, having a college is good enough, no. We're a big enough city to be able to have both a university and a college.
How about provincial support? Do you think we'll have enough support for this university? Because previously, even a few days ago, there was a whole research done, that audit was done, that this university was not approved because of satellite university coming up.
No, listen, I think the province wants to work with us, but you have to have a council that supports it. You know, the good example would be Guelph Humber. Guelph Humber was ready to come. It wasn't the province saying no, it was city council saying no. And so I hope we can get enough councillors around the table to say yes.
And जो भी साडे कोई लिसनर इस वक्त सुन रहे ने, तुसी कोई अपना सवाल करना चाहते हो जरूर सानू कॉल कर सकते हो, दिलबाग जी नू तुसी सवाल कर सकते हो, and any questions please do give us a call. And we are, everybody, you know, all Bramptonians are now waiting for 24th to come. Any advance polling they can go for?
No, it's election day on Monday. The advance polls are finished, so remember to get out and vote on Monday.
Great.
दोस्तों, अगर तुहाडा कोई क्वेश्चन है, कुछ सवाल तुसी लिखवाना चाਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ, ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਰਿਕੁਐਸਟ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਡਾਇਰੈਕਟ ਆਪਣੀ ਭਾਸ਼ਾ ਯੂਅਰ ਲੈਂਗੁਏਜ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਹਿੰਦੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਲਿਖ ਲਵਾਂਗੇ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਹੁਣ ਔਨ ਦੀ 에ਅਰ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਟਰਾਂਸਲੇਟ ਕਰਕੇ ਮੇਰ ਪੈਟਰਿਕ ਬ੍ਰਾਊਨ ਤੱਕ ਪਹੁੰਚਦਾ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਜਾਵੇਗਾ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਜਵਾਬ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਟਰਾਂਸਲੇਟ ਕਰਕੇ ਸੁਣਾ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਜਾਵੇਗਾ। ਇਫ ਯੂ ਹੈਵ ਐਨੀ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ in your mind, please do call 905-813-1320 905-813-1320। एक क्वेश्चन मेरा है, मैं जो जिन्हों एक्सप्लेन कर देना है, क्योंकि अज पिछली बारी अर्श नाल इंटरव्यू के दरम्यान मैं मेरे पैट्रिक ब्राउन ने वही सेम कि साढ़े को शॉर्टेज या पुलिस तुसी क्वेश्चन कर चुके हो कि सीधा ही जिहड़ा है क्रिमिनल जिहड़े पीपल माइंड ने जिहड़े उन्हां नूं इनविटेशन है, क्रिमिनल माइंड जिहड़े ने उन्हां नूं कि ब्रैम्पटन इज एम्प्टी, देयर इज नो पुलिस ऑफिसर, कम, नो प्रॉब्लम, nobody can ask you any question, do whatever you want it. So there are so many people pissed up that answer. So many people call us. What's going on?
Yeah, Patrick Brown. So there's the same question that I was asking about, that people are feeling very insecure. Like even if I'm parking my car in a mall, in a plaza, I don't know, next time I'm robbed. So this is a big concern for everyone. Once again, we'll bring up that question.
Yeah, and so, you know, it goes back to this. There's candidates that want to cut the amount of police and freeze the police budget, and then there's one candidate that wants to increase the police budget and get more officers. There's only one candidate endorsed by the Peel Police Association for having the best plan for public safety. So my message to listeners is don't elect councillors that think they can freeze the police budget. Don't elect councillors who think they can defund the police. You know, you should be looking at what the Peel Police have put out there, because our frontline officers, our men and women, they want to keep Brampton safe. These Peel police officers work very hard. They take on risky assignments, but they just want the tools to do their job. So please, rather than send me back to City Hall with a minority mandate, send me back with a large mandate, a majority mandate, to fight for the city and keep us safe.
जी दोस्तों ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਲਾਈਨਾਂ ਫਲੈਸ਼ ਹੋ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਸੋ ਮੈਂ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਕਰਾਂਗਾ 1 by 1 ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਕਾਲ ਲਈ ਜਾਵੇਗੀ ਵਿਦਨ 30 ਸੈਕਿੰਡ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਹੈ ਐਂਡ
keep it very short,
ਸਮਾਲ ਐਂਡ ਕੋਈ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹਾ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਨਾ ਹੋਵੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੱਟ ਦਈਏ ਤੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕੱਟਣ ਤੇ ਮਜਬੂਰ ਹੋਣਾ ਪਵੇ
we'll take some questions on the line.
So
hello,
we'll take first call please.
Hello
ਹਾਂਜੀ
Hanji, sir, there is a concern which happened with me last week. Somebody hit my car from the back, and I took the screenshot of their license plate, and I raised my complaint to the police right away. And after 3 hours, the police called me back for the same thing, and they said they didn't find any license plate number which I gave them. So, like, people are just coming in the going on in the city with fake license plate number. So if they hit you or they do any crime with that car, with that particular car, so nobody is gonna chase them because they have fake license plates. So what can we do in that case? Because police said that they couldn't find any license plate number like that which I told them throughout Ontario.
Wow. Yeah, and that's a criminal offense to have a fake license plate. So, you know, that type of activity is reckless. And, you know, it speaks to the fact why we need more police officers to hold criminals like this accountable.
I know, like, it was really concerning for me because somebody hit my car from the back and he was saying, do whatever you want. When I took the photo of his license plate car, he was just telling by himself to me that you can just do whatever you want and I will see what you will do. And I was really concerned that what is happening in the city, that people are just going roaming around with fake license plates. They can do whatever they want with their fake license plate number car and then just run away.
Yeah, I will certainly share that with the Peel Police, but people with the fake license plates, you know, that's a criminal offense, and they need to be held accountable because you're right, you know, they could be engaged in egregious criminal behavior.
I know. So what we are doing in this kind of situation, because police said they cannot do anything because they couldn't find any license plate number which I told them.
Yeah, you know, we'd have to speak to the police about that.
Yeah.
This is not something I've heard of before, but you know, I can certainly raise it with the chief that this is something that a caller brought up to me.
We'll go to the next
Thank you.
call. Thanks.
So we'll go next call please.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ
ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ
ਭਾਈ ਮੈਂ ਪੈਟਰਿਕ ਬ੍ਰਾਊਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਜੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਮਿਸੀਸਾਗਾ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਪੜ੍ਹਨ ਇਹ ਉਹ ਮਿਸੀਸਾਗਾ ਬੱਸਾਂ ਫ੍ਰੀ ਆ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਲਈ ਤੇ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਵਾਲੇ ਕਿਉਂ ਚਾਰਜ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ
okay
Yeah, there's a question here, Patrick Brown, that the Bramptonians, Brampton children, when they go to Mississauga University, they don't have to pay anything for their ride, but Brampton children have to. So that discrimination he's talking about.
And what do you mean by the ride?
Bus.
Bus?
Yeah.
So there's no charge in Mississauga for the bus?
When they go to Mississauga University, there's no charge, and the Bramptonians are charged.
So I hadn't heard that Mississauga had free transit. I would say that we brought in free transit for seniors in Brampton,
Yes.
and at some point we're going to look at free transit for youth as well in Brampton. I can't speak to Mississauga's transit system, but increasingly we're trying to make our transit system
Connectivity
affordable,
to Mississauga.
and we did bring in free transit for seniors.
Yeah. Next call we'll go to. Hello.
Hello, madam.
Yes. Yes, sir. Your question?
Okay. I have a question. ਮੇਰੇ ਲਈ ਵੀ ਜਿੰਨੀ ਦੇਰ ਤੱਕ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਲੇਬਰ ਦੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਰਿਹਾ ਉਹ ਲੇਬਰ ਪੂਰੀ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਇਮੀਗ੍ਰੈਂਟ ਇੱਥੇ ਆ ਜਾਣ, ਜਿੰਨੇ ਊਬਰ ਚੱਲਦੀ ਆ ਉਹ ਸਾਰੇ ਊਬਰ ਜਾਈ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ, ਤੇ ਫੈਕਟਰੀ ਵਗੈਰਾ 'ਚ ਕੰਮ ਕੌਣ ਕਰੂਗਾ? ਜਿੰਨੇ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਬਾਹਰ ਇਮੀਗ੍ਰੈਂਟ ਆਈ ਜਾਣ, ਊਬਰ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਮਤਲਬ ਲਿਮਟ ਲੱਗਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਵੀ ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਡਰਾਈਵਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋ ਸਕਦੇ।
ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਬੇਸਿਕਲੀ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਇਹ ਆ
ਲੇਬਰ ਕਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੂਰੀ ਹੋਣੀ
ਕਿ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਲੇਬਰ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਆ ਉਹ ਊਬਰ ਚਲਾ ਰਹੀ ਆ ਤੇ ਫੈਕਟਰੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵਾ ਉਹ ਲੇਬਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਊਗਾ। ਆਈ ਥਿੰਕ ਇਟਸ ਨਾਟ ਵਿਦ ਮੈਟਰ ਪੈਟਰਿਕ ਬ੍ਰਾਊਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਸਵਾਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ।
ਦਿਸ ਇਜ਼ ਦ ਲਿਮਿਟ ਆਫ ਦ ਸਿਟੀ ਟੂ ਸਰ।
ਹਾਂਜੀ
he is the question is that when the new immigrants, when they come, they go more towards driving Uber rather than having that labor used up in factory jobs. So he is saying there should be a limit from city limit to for Uber drivers.
Okay. In terms of a limit on Uber drivers?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not something I've heard before, but we can certainly that might fall within the Ministry of Consumer and Commercial Affairs, which is a provincial ministry. But I can look into that. Before we go to our next event, I can probably take one more call.
Okay,
if that's okay.
Yeah.
Because there's so many calls.
Hello.
Hello. Yes.
Hello.
जी.
हाँ जी ਆਪਾਂ ਜਬ
ਜੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੋ ਜੀ।
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਇੱਕ ਤਾਂ ਨਾ ਪੁੱਛੋ ਆਪਣੇ ਪੈਟਰਿਕ ਬਰਾਊਨ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਪਿਛਲੇ 4 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਾਹਦੇ ਨੇ ਜਿਹਦੀ ਵੈਰਾਈਟੀ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਉਣ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਵਾਂਗੇ 4 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਦੇ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਚ ਕੀ ਕਾਹਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਏ। ਇੱਕ ਗਾਰਬੇਜ ਕਾਹਦੇ ਐਵਰੀ ਸੈਕਿੰਡ ਵੀਕ ਚੱਕ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਬਰੈਂਪਟਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ
ਗਾਰਬੇਜ ਐਵਰੀ ਸੈਕਿੰਡ
ਵੀਕ ਚੱਕਦੇ ਆ ਜੀ। ਰੀਸਾਈਕਲ ਤੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਗਾਰਬੇਜ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਸੈਕਿੰਡ ਵੀਕ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਐਵਰੀ ਵੀਕ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਰੀਸਾਈਕਲ ਤੇ ਗਾਰਬੇਜ।
ਰੀਸਾਈਕਲ ਰੀਸਾਈਕਲ ਵਿਸਾਗਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਰ ਦੂਜੇ ਹਫਤੇ ਹੀ ਜਾਂਦਾ, ਪਰ ਮੈਂ ਪੁੱਛ ਲੈਣੀ ਆ ਜੀ।
ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਪਿਛਲੇ 4 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਦੀ ਕਾਹਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਹੁਣ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਵਾਂਗੇ ਪਿਛਲੇ 4 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਦੀ ਕਾਹਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ।
ਉਹਦੇ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਪਰ ਫਿਰ ਵੀ ਪੁੱਛ ਲੈਣਾ।
Patrick Brown, he's saying about the garbage recycle that they pick up only once in 2 weeks, so that's his concern. They want that to be picked every week.
So I appreciate the feedback. There's obviously a cost and a capacity issue how much our waste management can handle, but I'll take that feedback. And I have heard that a few times that people want additional recycling opportunities. So maybe we can't do the garbage every week, but we could always look at whether there's opportunities for additional recycling opportunities. So thank you for that suggestion.
Yeah, and before we end up, once again, I would like our voters, Bramptonians, to know about your accomplishment during these last 4 years.
Yeah, I just closed by saying in the last 4 years we've received more funding than in the previous 15 combined. Whether it's getting the new hospital approved, the new police division approved, the new med school coming, whether it's the 2 new rec centers, whether it's the soccer dome, the cricket field, the field hockey dome, the major economic development wins. Brampton has been getting win after win after win after win for the last 4 years. And I'm going to keep on fighting for the city to make sure it can be the best that it can be.
Thank you so much, and all the best to you, Mr. Brown. And hopefully all the voters will go there and have your rights done on 24th of October. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much. All the best.
Thanks.
ਦੋਸਤੋ ਇਹ ਸਨ ਮੇਰ ਪੈਟਰਿਕ ਬਰਾਊਨ ਜੋ ਇਸ ਵਾਰ ਫਿਰ ਚੋਣ ਮੈਦਾਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਨੇ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਵਾਲ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਲਾਈਨਾਂ ਫਲੈਸ਼ ਹੋ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਡਿਫਰੈਂਟ ਐਂਗਲ ਤੋਂ ਸਵਾਲ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ, ਪਰੰਤੂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਕੋਲ 15 ਮਿੰਟ ਹੀ ਸਮਾਂ ਸੀ ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਫਿਰ ਕਿਤੇ ਮੌਕਾ ਲੱਗਾ ਤਾਂ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਸਵਾਲ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਪੁੱਛਾਂਗੇ। ਸੋ ਸੁਣਦੇ ਰਹਿਣਾ, ਦੇਖਦੇ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਚਾਵਲਾ ਨਿਊਜ਼ ਨੈਟਵਰਕ ਟੋਰਾਂਟੋ। 10:15 ਖਬਰਾਂ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਵਿਸ਼ੇਸ਼ ਬੁਲੇਟਿਨ ਅਮਨਜੀਤ ਦੀ ਜ਼ਬਾਨੀ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਾਜ਼ਰ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ।
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੁਣ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਚਾਵਲਾ ਨਿਊਜ਼ ਨੈਟਵਰਕ ਟੋਰਾਂਟੋ, CNN ਟੋਰਾਂਟੋ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੁਣ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਚਾਵਲਾ ਨਿਊਜ਼ ਨੈਟਵਰਕ ਟੋਰਾਂਟੋ, CNN ਟੋਰਾਂਟੋ।
ਲੈ ਬਈ ਐਤਕੀ ਦੀਵਾਲੀ ਤੇ ਸੰਗਣ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਨਹੀਂ, ਖੁੱਲ ਕੇ ਮੂੰਹ ਮਿੱਠਾ ਕਰੋ ਬਈ। ਦੇਸੀ ਘਿਓ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਣੀਆਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਤਾਜ਼ੀਆਂ ਮਠਿਆਈਆਂ ਨੇ।